I always tell people your website is your first impression. So think about it as in like that the entry to your farm. What does that look like? You always want to make sure if you have an on-farm store, you have customers visiting the farm often. Of course, you're going to make your best impression. The area that you're going to keep the most organized is going to be what do the customers see. This is the same thing with your website. This is the first impression.
It's really an opportunity to create a moment of magic, because if you truly are understanding who your customer is, they should within 5 seconds begin to get that feeling of excitement, like, I think this is it. I found it. I found it, finally.
You're listening to GrazeCast, a show that shares the secrets to selling perishable food products online. The show and advice is brought to you by the team at Seven Sons, which is an 8-figure e-commerce business that started completely from scratch. Each episode, we bring you one topic, 3 strategies, and one tangible resource to continue your learning and put you on the fast track in your own e-commerce journey. Let's begin.
All right, hello and welcome back to GrazeCast. This is episode 3. My name is Brooks Hitsfield with Seven Sons and GrazeCart, and I'm here joined with co-host Blaine. I guess we can go co-host.
Okay,
whatever works.
That sounds good.
Blaine, you want to introduce the topic we're discussing today?
We are talking, it's another top 3, of course, and it's the, what is it? What do we call it? The top 3?
Top 3 most important things you need to include on your homepage.
Yeah, so you're looking at building your homepage. How do you build it? What are the elements that your homepage, a good, high-converting homepage, should have on it? We're going to talk about those top 3. So
this is going to be fun because I think it's going to be more tangible for everybody to take action on.
Yes,
quickly.
But by the time you're done with this, you should be able to go back to your homepage and ask the questions, does my homepage include these top 3 things that we talked about? Now, Brooks and I, we have spent a lot of time, and if there's any place you're going to spend a lot of time on your website, it should be refining that homepage. That's the hub. That's the first impression. That's your chance to keep someone on that page and not letting them bounce back to their Google search.
If you followed us for a long time, you know that's true because we've been marketing online since, first website probably, what's your best guess, 2005?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. But yeah, so for those of you who've been following us, and if this is, if you followed us through the first couple episodes, we want to welcome you back. But for those of you who are brand new, maybe you've never heard of Seven Sons before, I just want to encourage you to maybe go back, listen to our first episode because we shared this story.
Literally, we've started from scratch, been through so many hard lessons, found out what has worked, and what hasn't worked well for us, and we're just sharing that. We're going to be sharing those lessons on this podcast show, GrazeCast, right?
Yep. No, that's a quick version. So, but why? Maybe just a little bit of context into the homepage. Why are we spending a whole episode talking about?
Because if you can get someone to spend 5 seconds on your homepage versus jumping back to the Google search, then you are far more likely to get someone to spend 5 minutes, the next 5 minutes, and however many minutes it takes to make that purchase. Those 5 seconds are so valuable, and it's how your homepage is built. 5 seconds, that includes the load time. So you've got to, put that in there. If you're loading huge images, people, we have a limit with the GrazeCart software, the website software. We have a limit that your file and your image that you upload into GrazeCart can only be 1 megabyte?
1 megabyte.
And we get people emailing all the time saying, I need to upload a bigger photo. Well, the reality is, no, you don't, because those large photos, Google actually looks at how fast your website loads, and it will decrease your rankings just because your website takes too long to load.
I always tell people your website is your first impression. So think about it as in like the entry to your farm. What does that look like? You always want to make sure if you have an on-farm store, you have customers visiting the farm often. Of course, you're going to make your best impression. The area that you're going to keep the most organized is going to be what do the customers see. This is the same thing with your website. This is the first impression.
It's really an opportunity to create a moment of magic, because if you truly are understanding who your customer is and you learn how to speak to them, they should within 5 seconds begin to get that feeling of excitement, like, I think this is it. I found it. I found it, finally.
Yep. And that's true with everything. That front interest to your farm, your farmer's market booth, whatever it is, all of your marketing collateral, that first impression with your customer is definitely the potential customer, I would say, because it's the most important. If you don't make a good first impression, then that person might just be inspired to click the back button and go look at that next option. People have a very short attention span in today's marketing saturated world, especially when it comes to internet marketing. So like the show always goes, this is the topic. Blaine and I are going to share our top 3 pieces of advice on the topic here. We're going to see how much overlap there is. We'll leave you guys with at least one recommended resource out of our discussion here so you can continue your learning. So Blaine, you want to lead us off with your first recommended thing everyone should include on their homepage?
My first would be that initial, basically every website has a header, that first area that you see before anyone has to scroll. Okay, so within, and that's what we talk about. That
call
header,
it the header.
Call it the header. That's what we call it, the header. But that within 5 seconds, that should be fully loaded on the screen of the phone or the computer, desktop, and we should be able to. The potential customer should be able to answer we'd say 3 questions. Who is this for one thing, and what are they offering?
And what is the next step you need to take to buy it? So what do you offer?
Yep.
What's in it for me? What's that next step I need to take to buy it? So those 3 things.
If you go to sevensons.net, you'll find that it answers those right away. Grass-fed meat you can eat with confidence, and then qualifying that safe, ethical food delivered to your door. I mean, within 5 seconds, you've read, you know what it is. Our logo is at the top, so you know who it is. And you kind of know how it's going to work, delivered to your door.
Yep. So. Yep. What you offer. So, and that whole confidence piece. What's in it for me?
Yes.
So
safe and ethical. So we qualified it with grass-fed and confidence.
Yep.
And that's what our slogan, our mantra is: eat with confidence at Seven Sons. We'll relay that right away.
It's really easy to think what your customer is looking for is that product that you have to offer: grass-fed beef, pasture pork, whatever it is that you sell.
Yeah.
And then it's very tempting to just stop there, right? Yeah. If someone comes to our website, if that's what they're looking for, that's all I need to communicate. But no, there's usually some sort of internal frustration or problem that your customer is facing that is inspiring them to go.
We talk about this with our staff all the time. Why do 10,000 people per year pay a premium to buy food from our farm? We ask our staff this question: what is that reason? And the reason is it's trust.
Yep.
And it's confidence. So the reason that people are no longer buying food in a grocery store and they're buying it from Seven Sons is because they lost trust in where they were buying their food. So this is about delivering confidence. That's the internal motivation. You have to address the internal motivations. It's not enough to say, you've arrived, we have grass-fed beef. That's what most websites will do. You have to address that internal frustration. What is that transformation?
That may have worked 10 years ago, right? Yeah. When maybe whatever you offered was very niche and it wasn't offered anywhere else. So people really had to do a lot of research in order to find that product. But now, in today's world, it's getting more competitive. So you gotta dig deeper into understanding who your customer is, what are their frustrations, make sure you speak to those because people want to hear it.
Donald Miller in the book Story Brand calls it the grunt test. Within 5 seconds, can someone just look at it quickly and yes, they know exactly what it is just from the images and the words that are used in that first screen.
I'm going to keep jumping on this because that's my number 1 as well. So we have some overlap
Go ahead.
But then 2, thinking about that last question, what is it you offer? What's in it for me? And what's my next step to take to buy it? This is where you want to make that as simple, as easy as possible. So we also, if you go to sevensons.net, we have a CTA on there for shop now. So Blaine mentioned, we have that little qualifying statement that says that, pasture-raised foods delivered to your door, or however the exact wording is for that. And there's also still a consistent button that's the next step they need to take to start shopping, where they can explore further. And they know that there's a process and a plan. If you don't have that there, then it leaves it kind of up for interpretation for your customer.
So was that your number 1?
That was my number 1. I called it your one-liner statement. So more so thinking about that messaging in your header. So what's that first, line of text going to say? You need to make sure that, oh my goodness, I've landed on websites before where the first thing I see in that header is this big long paragraph about the business's story. Who started it. And just thinking that, hey, people are buying from me because they want to know my story and they want a relationship with their food. That's true. But that first 5 seconds, they're not ready. They're not ready to be that invested into who you are. I don't know you. I'm not going to about to spend that much time on your
read
website
a full paragraph of text about my farm and our story and how we use holistic management and blah, blah, blah. All good things later on.
Yeah, I think on our website, there's probably 15 words there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
So this takes time to, and again, you have to really, the biggest thing that plays into this is understanding who your customer is in order to create messaging that speaks to those internal frustrations and problems they're trying to
Looks
face.
like 12 words as of today on that first screen. So
it'll evolve because, again, like Wayne said, we spend a lot of time tweaking our homepage, testing it over time. So start with something. Do put effort into this. We have a download and a worksheet, and that's probably a great resource to share at the end that will actually help you craft this message. We'll share more about that.
So number one for me was the website banner, and yours is what you're calling the one-liner statement.
The message, so what that messaging is inside of your banner. I'm thinking about the photo too, because of course a photo, as they always say, speaks 1,000 words. So you can use the pictures on your website to help kind of speak to and answer those 3 questions that you're trying to answer within the first 5 seconds. So
cool.
There we go. That knocks out number 1 for me. So back to you, number 2.
Number 2, and we kind of debate on this, but I think it's the what we offer in a little bit more detail. We have, if you look at our website, it's a little widget we have on our website. Just gives a quick overview of all the different products, very visual product photos that are highly captivating. They're really colorful, captures your attention, and that brings me to a point that if you're going to spend time with photography, get good photography for your homepage. I see some farms that are putting some awesome photography out there on social media and Instagram, but then will neglect that homepage photography. So, it's very simple. What we offer, just have a nice little collection of what's offered. So.
This is always fun. So so mine's different, and I answered mine thinking about my own homepage could only include 3 things. What would I pick? So. Yep. And I think it's a little different, kind of depending on what it is that you offer and what type of business and industry you're in. But what I put is you want to include a section on your website that we call your promise agreement.
Yes.
So specifically thinking about the industry that we're in, Seven Sons, we sell grass-fed meats, pasture-raised products, directly from the farm and our farm partners. And we know that our customers, when they come to buy from us, there's a specific list of criteria that we know they want us to meet, or protocols they want us to stand by,
or concerns they have, right?
Yes, before they would ever move forward to buy from us.
Right, so, deal breakers. These are the deal breakers.
Yes, think about the objections that your customers
We all have deal breakers when we're buying something. What are those for your customers?
So we have people who come to us who want to know is are all the animals fed non-GMO feeds? I don't want anything to do with GMOs. That's one of the more production protocols that we want to make sure that we meet. They want to know. We have some customers who it's a deal breaker if they need confidence that animals are raised humanely, and if they can't get confidence on that, it's going to be a deal breaker for them.
Yeah, or do you really do what you say you do? So we address that in the promise statements on our website there, right?
Yeah, and there's even people too. For us, we know that there are other folks who offer products that we do, but we do our best to make sure that we have one of the best service experiences as possible, and make sure that our farm is as convenient to buy from as possible as well. We know that's a major objection that people have with buying food directly from the farm. A lot of people want to do it, but it's a lot of work for a lot of times. So we try to overcome that objection to make sure that we let our customers know, hey, look, there's no monthly order commitments. It can be delivered directly to your home. You can order weekly. Again, this is just, they want to know these answers as quickly as possible, because if I'm out here researching, I have a short attention span. I want to make sure that I find, my deal breakers, answers to my deal breakers as quickly as possible. So that's why I would include it on my homepage versus somewhere else. If I had to pick 3 things. And
to really tweak this needs to be based on the product offering that you have and the type of customer that you're serving and you're best equipped to serve. You have to get to know that customer. So how do you know what you should include on your promise statement? Get on the phone, have as many conversations at the farmer's market about what frustrates your customer, what are some of their top objections, and build that promise statement around it. So and always tweak it over time. So that
if you guys want to follow along our website at all as we're talking through these, because everything we're going to mention is included on our website. There's a section on our website that says Our Promise. food that keeps your family nourished, that's the section we're referring to when we talk about the promise agreement. So these are our deal breakers we've made sure to speak to for our customers.
Exactly. Okay, so I'm going to jump to my number 3 now, right? I did my second one. My second one was the offering, something very basic. But number 3 for me would be the social proof, where you're building that confidence and credibility.
We got 2 overlaps. That's my third one too.
So social proof, and best thing there is reviews. So in the last 2 episodes actually, we referenced the fact that we send out that email asking for a Google review. And so we now have almost working our way to 1,000 Google reviews. We have, as of today, a little over 900. And they're all averaging a 4.9 rating. And so we use a little app called Embed Social that we use to embed and basically bring in the Google reviews feed. So we just put on there the last 4 Google reviews from our customers. And that is that really is something that's probably missing from most of the websites that we find.
Forgotten about the most out of the things that we've mentioned. And you hear it said, nobody speaks louder than your customers, and you need to remember this. This can build a tremendous amount of trust and authority, because it's anyone can say,
I'm the best.
Anything. And people, I think consumers, especially in today's world, are getting, it's more common that folks have had experiences where they were buying for someone and then later find out that, hey, this company, they didn't stand up to what they, had
said they would do.
Yeah, said they would do. So people have gone through that experience. So people are more skeptical, I would say, in today's marketing saturated world than they ever have been before.
Amazon has taught everyone how to buy and to use reviews.
You
have to implement
you go to Amazon, you find what you're looking for, you read the description, it all seems right. But before you buy, I always go down to look at the reviews, especially in comparing different products. And a lot of times this is a decision maker for me on Amazon between, 2 the same products, maybe 2 sold from 2 different sellers. I'm going for the one that has the most reviews.
And I'm always looking at the most reviews. I don't always do the highest reviewed one. I do the one with the most that has a pretty good...
You're looking for the balance. Yeah,
that balance.
So high and the most. So if it has 2 reviews and they're 5
That's
stars,
why you want an email workflow that's always gathering. Pick your platform. Where are you going to get your reviews? Yelp, Google, Facebook. Just pick a platform and send everyone there, because you want lots of ratings on at least one major platform.
And if you don't have reviews right now, and again, you might be thinking this sounds like a lot of work, but if you've been in business, you're serving customers, you're going to have customers who love what you do, and you're having conversations with them on the phone, at the farmer's market, wherever it is. You hear them, give you compliments. Just ask them, there as you're having those conversations, hey, you know what? I really like what you just said there. Do you mind if I include this as a review on my website or a testimony? And 9 times out of 10, people are always going to be okay and say yes to this. So very easy to collect the reviews. I'm just going to read a few of these that are on our website here. So Donald says, food arrived neatly packaged. All of my food has been excellent. Thanks.
That's just 2 hours ago. So that's powerful too, the recency. People see they just came in. So it's a constant feed. We're not updating this. The Embed Social app is.
And that shipping was unbelievably fast. Everything was packaged and packed so well. My family really enjoyed the food. I cannot wait to place another order soon. You see how much trust and confidence that builds if I'm on this website for the first time, considering whether or not I should move forward. And 2, it's always funny. You're going to see when you start asking for reviews and feedback from your customers, they will tell you what they enjoy most about your business. And a lot of times that tells you where you need to double down on and create more marketing messaging around, because if these people are saying this is what they appreciate the most, then well, hey, let's see if I can build that into more of my marketing messaging, my homepage, my emails.
Well, Brooks, when we came up with the mantra, eat with confidence, really that came from reading our customer reviews and emails. That they feel confident in what they're feeding their family, or that's just what they want to do. They want to be confident in what I'm feeding my small children. So you let your customers' message and feedback guide your actual marketing material. I would say, Brooks, half of our marketing material, especially on our homepage, are just little snippets from customers. So that was third for me, Brooks. It was social proof.
No, that was mine too. So
good.
There we go. We're on the same page. So.
I mean, is there a bonus one we can leave with them? I mean, how about the lead magnet concept down at the bottom of the homepage?
Yeah. So if you guys are following us along on our website, and this is probably a topic for a podcast for sure that we could go a lot deeper on, but Of course, we've talked about email marketing in earlier episodes and how much value that can add to your business. It's an online marketing strategy that we focus on the most. So how do you grow your email list though? So you may or may not have heard of the term of lead magnets or lead generators. And this is just the concept of replacing your newsletter sign-up form on your website. Most people think that's how I'm going to grow my list online. Put up a little sign-up form that says, "Hey, get farm news," and that's going to inspire people to join.
That's not very compelling.
Not anymore. There's a time where that used to work, but again, as online marketing has just gotten more competitive, and as it's gotten more saturated, people are getting tired of email. They're getting email fatigue, right? They're getting all this marketing message in their inbox, and they're much more reluctant to when they give out their email address. So you need to do more than just, hey, sign up for our newsletter form.
You have to strike a deal. Hey, if you give me if you provide your email address, here's the value that I'm going to offer to you.
Exchange something, basically do some give and take. If they're going to give you their email address, that's valuable to your business because you can then have a form to contact them and continue to build a relationship. Give something in return that's valuable to them, something that they would want to learn more about, in exchange. So treat this like an exchange instead of just a one-way street where they opt in.
We've seen people say, "Hey, we'll send you 5 recipes."
Well, the most common one, right? You see it on online all the time. Is, "Hey, join our newsletter. We'll give you a $10 coupon. You give some financial or monetary benefit for joining the list." Which that's a very easy way to get started, and it does work. But we don't do that mainly because we feel like it can attract the wrong type of customer. We're not trying to attract a discount shopper. We want someone who's just a little more bought into what we're doing.
We don't want to set the expectation that we're going to train our customers.
It can create a bad habit, and then people are always waiting for that coupon again to come back.
So what is our lead magnet, Brooks?
So what we do is the message on here says, "We would love you to show you around the farm. So come on the pasture with 7 sons and learn how we raise our healthy food." So it's a virtual farm tour is what we've created. So we're asking people to join our virtual farm tour to learn more about what goes into raising the products that we offer and what makes it.
And this is important because not everyone a very small percentage of the people that come to your website are actually ready to buy from you. So you need that secondary call to action. What is it? If they're not ready to place an order and shop now, what else do you think they might want in the meantime?
So we talked about the virtual farm tour in our last episode, and kind of how we treat that as an onboarding series where as soon as they signed up, we drip emails out on a timer to where we deliver the behind the scenes of the farm and help build that relationship, as soon as they sign up. Because again, that's when they're most willing to learn more and they're the most invested in learning more about your business. So there's lots of different examples of what you can do. Virtual farm tours worked well for us. Some people will give away recipes and
teach something.
Exactly.
How to make something. So
yep. I think a great resource to leave everyone with is we actually have, if you go to GrazeCart.com, our e-commerce and custom website, shopping cart website that we've built, we have a worksheet. I think if you go to learn in the top corner, we'll put it in the show notes actually, but there's a worksheet that is, we call it the website message builder. So basically it's a little template that you can fill out where essentially all you do is just answer some key questions that are listed in that worksheet. And your answer to those questions can end up being that messaging that you want to live on your website. So it helps you create that one-liner statement, helps you create your promise agreement. It's even a helpful worksheet for you to collect those reviews. So there's a little video guide that goes along with it, goes a little more deeper than we're able to go in the podcast here that actually shows you how to build a website too, using our GrazeCart platform and taking these different components that we're talking about and include those on your homepage.
Cool. All right. Well, this is fun.
Alrighty. Well, hey, thanks again for listening. And as always, leave us a comment. Let us know what were your guys' biggest aha moments or takeaways that you're going to implement.
I want to know what you implement. I mean, this is easy implementation. So just implement one of these things. At least one today and share it in the comments below. Yeah, let us know. And of course, we always want your feedback on what do you want to hear from us next. So we're always excited to make sure that we keep this information as relevant as possible. So if there's some challenge that you're facing right now with your business, you want to hear us talk about it, be sure to let us know because we're definitely going to read and respond to the comments. So cool. All right. Thanks again for joining. We'll see you.